he follows these punks, and all of a sudden he sees them kill a guy in an alleyway. I mean, they're all kind of huddled over this dark alley, and they take what looks like a railroad spike or some sharp object, and they just stab this poor bastard right in the forehead. And Jean Charles, who's been doing a really good job of staying low-key, he's an anthropologist. He knows how to observe without interfering. All of a sudden, he just runs out there.
And I was like, if you're running around the globe tracking down indigenous tribes all across, you're going to see them, like, do things. I figured that the natural instinct would be not to interfere.
Right. I think if anybody, like, in a horror movie, that's like your always instinct, like, I've got to help. But I think he's Jean Charles. He's wearing that pith helmet, and we didn't have pith helmet, but he's wearing the Panama Jack outfit. He should know not to interfere with what's going on. But no, he tosses the camera aside and runs out there like, stop it, you're maniacs. And of course they all look and they start chasing him, which I thought led to a really tense kind of scene where he crawls under. They're chasing him through downtown LA. And I love that it's all taking place in the city.
Yeah.
And there's cars like going by, like no one seems to acknowledge that there's people around you can ask for help, but it's just like he's kind of in his own little world. And he slides under this car. He gets around the corner from him. He slides under this car. And they do this a lot in the movie where the soundtrack becomes just his heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I was told from a very young standpoint, filmmaking wise, that is the cheapest, most don't do it stunt as a filmmaker you can do is play a heartbeat on your soundtrack. I did it in my first horror movie I did in college, Smoke Some Kill. And my editors were like, all right, where do you really want to use? Because I was insistent that it worked, but they're like, you're using it way too much. Use it one place where you really want to amp up the thing. But they use it a lot every time he's kind of stressed out or doing something. And I thought it worked. I thought it was a nice.
It worked so well that I didn't recognize it.
When he's under that car and they run past him, but then they come back.
Yeah.
And you can see where the car lowers, where they sit on the car and they like drop a cigarette, and he's just stuck under there. And then inexplicably they leave.
Yeah.
Which they do a couple times in this movie. They get him cornered and then they bail.
Yeah. That's kind of weird.
So they let him go, and instead of counting his blessings and calling the cops and being like, hey, I just saw some guy murdered, and I need help. I'm a little over my head. I've been in town for 2 days. I need some help. No, he continues to track them. And follows them to another dark corner of downtown Los Angeles when suddenly the main chick, Michael Jackson's Thriller just came on the pub stereo, and everybody's just I think our waitress may be down there feeling it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's photographing the group, and the main chick, the main spooky punk girl, does a full Tawny Katane from Whitesnake.
Here I go so again. Funny video. That you just said that, because I was telling my wife, I was like, I was really getting spooked and really getting intense into the first half of this. And all of a sudden, a Whitesnake video breaks out.
She crawls up on the hood of this car and with her huge '80s teased hair and starts dancing. And for some reason, he comes out of the shadows and it's like just feeling it. And he's like snapping her. Yeah. And he's kind of got a little swivel to his step, and he's like loving it.
Give me sexy.
And another girl from the gang comes up to him, and she's like, and he's like, yeah. And he's like smiling and taking pictures. It's like, I don't know what was going on. And then it cuts.
Yeah, it's a weird.
And then it's over.
I mean, I guess it was to show that these guys, hey, we're having fun and we're drawing you into this.
I don't know what it was for.
I think that's
what I took out of it.
Yeah,
that he's.
You started out following us, but now we're now we know.
Well, that would have made sense if it went anywhere. But he never. He never joined them. He never they didn't take him into their wing. But at that point, no.
It was still very antagonistic.
It made no sense, especially when it cuts and then he's back at home. And
I think that was our beginning. That for me was, in retrospect, after you get through the whole movie, you go think back to it. That's where you start to see that it's wasn't just this all, suspense and him chasing them chasing him. There was this little bit of, if we'll call it seduction.
A mind game.